The 1962 season was full of some crazy individual statistics. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points per game, and that stat doesn't even compare to the amount of women that Wilt averaged a night.
And I'm a little surprised because I know you want to talk about a subject that is dear to my heart.
Well, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
You made a statement, and his statement's going to follow you around for a while that you that you slept with 20,000 women. You made that statement. Now,
Nice. Nice.
Also in 1962, Bill Russell averaged 21 points and 25 rebounds, and one of the guys who's the subject of this video, Oscar Robertson, averaged a triple-double. The 62 season is commonly considered one of the greatest seasons ever because of these stats. But in 2017, the NBA again has a player averaging a triple-double. That man, of course, is Russell Westbrook. Averaging a triple-double was often considered something that would never happen again in the history of the NBA. But it is happening again. And it's been incredible to watch. Russ recently tied Oscar Robertson's record for triple-doubles in a season with 41, so it's easy to compare the two point guards who average a triple-double. But what if I told you that there really should be no comparison between Russell and Oscar? Well, the reason why there should be no comparison is one simple thing. Inflated possessions. In 2017, on average, each team gets roughly 85 shot attempts per game. However, in 1962, teams averaged 107.7 shot attempts per game, which is the difference of 22.7 shots per game. That's 22.7 more opportunities for points, 22.7 more opportunities for assists, and 22.7 more opportunities for rebound. The reason for this is different styles of play throughout each era. In the mid-2000s, the Phoenix Suns became very famous for their 7 seconds or less offense, but back in the 60s, 7 seconds or less offense was just called offense. Teams played much quicker in the 60s. They would play defense, push the ball up court, and often take the first shot and not the best shot. As teams had a 126 pace rating in the 60s, and in 2017 teams have a 96.4 pace rating. For Wilt Chamberlain, his Philadelphia Warriors would just throw it to him in the post for a quick hook or dunk and keep doing that all game. And when you play with that style of offense, 50 points seems way more possible than it did originally. Same for a triple-double. Now, of course, I'm not taking away from these players' individual accomplishments. Inflated possessions or not, Wilt still scored 50 points per game. Same for Oscar and his triple-doubles. This argument is not meant to take away from them, but is meant to add to Russell Westbrook. Think about what Russ would average with 22.7 more possessions per game. And another thing that would have even further increased his stats is minutes inflation. In 1962, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 48.5 minutes per game. That's more minutes than there are in a regulation NBA game. That 0.5 extra was because of different overtimes throughout that season. Oscar also averaged 44.3 minutes per game to get his average of a triple-double. In comparison, Russell Westbrook averages 34.7 minutes per game, which is a little under 10 less than Oscar. So Russ is averaging close to the same stats as Oscar Robertson, with 22.7 less shot attempts per game, a much slower pace, and 10 less minutes per game. So, first of all, that tells me that Westbrook is just infinitely better than Oscar Robertson. Not to take away from Oscar, but with these numbers, you just can't deny it. And what Russ is doing is not the second time we've seen something like this. It's easily the first. His triple-double average in today's NBA is way more insane than a triple-double average was in the 60s. In summing up this video, Russ and Oscar were both phenomenal players in their own right, but to treat them as equals is just not fair. Russ's stats are unbelievable when you really dive into the numbers, and I'm just really appreciating the basketball history I'm living through. That's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.